Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan from ChartGuys.com. You know, behind every single video that we put out every single day, there's a wonderful community of traders that we want to invite you to be a part of. Try the free 7-day trial and gain access to our live market broadcasts every morning and afternoon, interact with hundreds of like-minded traders, or take part in one of our dedicated chat rooms, each led by an analyst that's there to answer your questions in real time. Our trial is risk-free with absolutely no commitment or credit card required to experience the TCG community. For those looking for a head start in technical analysis, check out our entries and exits course in the link below in the description. Get up to speed with the fundamentals of TCG technical analysis and experience over 5 hours of great community-driven trading education. Checking in on YELP GWPH PCLN NVDA and Tesla. So the YELP bulls finally showing a little bit more momentum, certainly a stronger candlestick than we saw yesterday. The bounce still playing out, so that double bottom low giving some nice upside gains at this point, over 3% to the upside. So we still are watching these resistance levels. You can see these Bollinger Bands are very tight, and it's going to require breaking the upper Bollinger Band in order to break 34 and 34.14 resistances in order to break the lower high pattern. So if we cannot do that tomorrow, if we cannot get over this upper Bollinger Band, we're going to have to either trade sideways, consolidate a little bit, establish a new higher low, while we wait for this Bollinger Band to begin expanding to the upside to create room for the bulls to get over that 34 and 34.14 resistance. So a nice bull close with some decent momentum. In the weekly time frames, a nice bullish reversal candlestick. We have been rejecting from this exponential 8-period candlestick, or the moving average here, 33.61. We've rejected from that level 3 of the past 5 weeks. So we're right at it right now, 33.61. And if we do see some consolidation tomorrow, it is going to be just another rejection from this level. So in my opinion, it is all about breaking the lower high pattern, and 34.14 is the level to do that. We are seeing the signs that the bulls are showing up, but we need to see just that little bit more push and follow through to change that trend on the daily time frame, which has been in a lower high and lower low trend. We now have our double bottom, and we need to get some higher highs. GWPH still very weak, still lower highs, closing at the low of the day. So same story here. We're watching the middle Bollinger Band resistance, but it's a very clear lower high and lower low pattern, and we haven't even established a higher low yet. So that low is 113.61, then we're looking down at 112. We've got the 200-day moving average at 113.21, and the bears are still in full control. We've seen a lot of downside action in the past 7 weeks, and it's all about 112 and 107.10. Those are the two levels I'm watching. I'm going to be scouting for a long-term bullish entry, utilizing that 107.10 support and putting a stop loss below that, depending on the setup when we get down to that area, if we get down to that area. Just something I'm keeping an eye on for the longer term after this consolidation has been so drawn out at this point. PCLN, can't get much tighter than that for PCLN. Very surprising the bulls did not break this resistance with the kind of day the S&P 500 had. So it's a very tight range. We've got the quadruple top at this point between 1771 and 1773. We've rejected 4 times in a row. We have support down at 1760, 1757, 55. So we're going to see a break tomorrow of this tightening range, and we're going to be watching the volume associated with it. But because we've been so tight, I do expect a lot of traders to be acting on this break and giving that drive in the direction that we do get that break, pushing momentum in that way. So we'll be watching that range of today tomorrow. It is an inside bar candlestick, and we'll be watching for a break of that range. Weekly time frame, certainly very bullish, a bull flag of consolidation, a little bit drawn out at this point in terms of the number of weeks, but it is very normal and healthy, and considering the bull move we saw to the upside, we've given back maybe a third of that bull move to the upside on this consolidation, so a pretty ideal scenario for those longer term bulls. NVDA, a bearish candlestick yesterday, did not see follow through to the downside, and we had a very clear support level, 99.41, double bottom. And we've seen this on NVDA before, where we respect a support and then the bulls show up in a big way. And that certainly was the case today. Market action obviously helping as well, and a strong close. So we're looking up at resistance of 101.73, the high of April 7th, and that is favoring the bulls in terms of momentum. We have a bullish TCG cross, a bullish MACD cross, and our higher low must hold support to maintain this strong move is 99.41. If that breaks, we're looking down at 97.60. Bullish reversal candlestick on the weekly. We're holding that 95.17 must hold level for the longer term trend. We bounced just above it. Bullish reversal candlestick will need to be confirmed next week, but pretty much an ideal reaction to that low $95 support at this point for the bulls. And we're going to watch and see if we can form a higher low and higher high. If we do break 99.41, it's not game over on this bounce attempt. It's just ideal if the bulls hold that level. Tesla had a bearish reaction to news today, and it was a really nice move to the downside. It's the kind of move where we're watching the chart and I start to see volume spiking and supports breaking, and I don't even have to look for news. I know there was a bearish news reaction, and we had a lot of downside movement in 10-minute time frame, and we hit the bottom, and then it was a really nice bottom fishing play when we saw, here's the 2-minute chart, where we had a low, there's the all-out dump, and we know $300 psychological support is a clear psychological level. We bounced off of 323. We then saw a little bounce. We came back down and tested that level again and bounced off of 330. As soon as I saw the second lower wick starting to form, that tells me, okay, the bulls are defending 300. I'm going to make a bottom fishing entry, and what that means is I'm going to put my stop loss level just below 300. It's a very low risk trade in the sense that I'm going to be stopped out if we do see continuation to the downside. And if I'm right that we are hitting our bottom and we're going to see a nice little quick oversold bounce, then there's going to be some decent upside, and that reward will always outweigh the risk of that small space before getting stopped out. And it ended up moving to the upside here fairly nicely, about 1.5% in, let's see here, not a long period of time. I don't want to do the math, maybe a half hour. So a lot of upside action in a bounce here, and that did fade towards the end of the day, giving the bears momentum heading into tomorrow. But that tells us that we do need to be keeping an eye on $300 psychological support tomorrow. If that breaks, we're looking down at 297.90. We still have very clear higher lows on the daily, so those are still intact, and we'll see how the market digests this news furthermore tomorrow. So indecision doji on the weekly time frame, an inside bar, ideal consolidation for the bulls at this point, just sideways trading, not even pulling back after a big time bull move over the past 5 weeks. So the bulls are still in control of the weekly time frame, and I'm not going to be bearish on Tesla on the daily nor the weekly unless we break 230, 295.30 and 294.10. So I appreciate you watching. We'll see you over the weekend. I hope you have a great Friday.